Hello, it's Leslie here. Today I'm going to review Lezyne's tubeless valves. At first these look like a pretty nice upgrade. They look like they're machined well out of aluminium, and they look probably the nicest looking valves out there at the moment. But let me explain a little bit later why I don't recommend these at all. First I installed my first set, setting up the tubeless, then and they held air all right. Then a couple of weeks, I think it was a couple of weeks later, I put more air into my tires to go for my maiden voyage while I was waiting for other parts to arrive. So this is the first time I've used them, and as I was pulling the head of the pump off, the valve broke at the stem. So it broke. It just broke. That's it there. It broke at the stem. And what happened was that the tire deflated pretty much instantly. Like within about 1 or 2 seconds, it had just totally deflated, faster than I've ever seen before, because it didn't have the little valve in there anymore to block the air, so it was just this great big hole which let all the air out. And of course, I didn't seal with the tubeless sealant that was at the top. So I had a closer look at these valves, at the thing, and now because they're machined both sides, like with the thread, and that silver thing there is just to keep this vernier calipers on there. So because it's machined from on the outside and the inside, threaded, like you're left with a very thin. Let me see if I can focus in on this. It's a very thin piece of aluminium holding the whole thing together. So I think you can see that now. It's basically, the silver ring is the structural thickness of the metal. It's basically as thick, only as thick as the markings on the vernier calipers. So what I'm saying is, it's probably like 1/4 of a millimeter or maybe 1/3 of a millimeter thick or thin, what's holding the whole thing together. So I do not trust these at all. If a rock hits them or something, I think you could probably break these by hand. They look that fragile. The metal on them looks so thin. I think they should be recalled, in my opinion. I think they're too dangerous. I'm not the first person to have issues with them. If you bother to read the reviews on Amazon, you can see that many other people have had these fail on them. If this happens on your front tire while you're barreling down a hill at 50 kilometers an hour or something, you're going to crash, because you won't be able to control it. You won't be able to come to a stop before the whole tire deflates. So I don't recommend these at all. They look nice, but I don't think the design is there. I think the threads are too deep, and they don't leave enough metal in the tube that's remaining. And I mean, in my opinion, they should use a stronger material, like for example copper beryllium or beryllium bronze. If they made it out of that, they could have a selling point and say, hey, we got these beryllium bronze tubeless valves, and people would probably snap them up, because nobody else is using that material in the industry. So I'm probably going to go back to brass valves, because I just don't trust these at all. Like I have them installed on my bike at the moment, but I only trust it to go up and down the street and maybe a bit of a ride on road, just to check the bike's working. But I think when I actually take my bike off road and go on some serious speeds, I'm probably going to, well, I am going to change the valves because I do not trust these one iota. So I bought 2 sets. That was a mistake. One set's already been refunded by the retailer, and 99 bikes, and I'm still waiting for the refund for the other one from Bike Bug. So, you know, other than that, they are fairly nice. I mean, the caps are nice. They have a little star-shaped thing there, and that threads into there. Also, they have this valve removal tool, so you can take the valves out. Yeah, but the thing is, on one set they broke, and on the second set, this valve doesn't screw on. It screws on half. That's as far as it screws on, half. It doesn't screw on a couple of turns as it should. So something strange is going on with one set. And the funny thing is, I tried to screw that little brass thing on from another inner tube something. That screws on fine because this cap screws on the black part, not the silver part. So that screws on one of them fine. So it's not the cap that's the problem. It's the threaded thing. So that's pretty much all I got to say. I don't think they're very good at all. I wouldn't trust them, and I'll be asking for my money back on the second set, and I don't recommend them at all. Just look at that, it's just too thin. That's crazy thing. Remember, that's magnified. So that's all I have time for today. Thanks for watching. Bye.